What's up, YouTube world? It's your boy Halucha Lucha, aka Matthew J. Brownlee, and I'm back with another NXT breakdown review, blah 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 thing. You know what it is already. So, before I get into it, you already know like, comment, subscribe, share, all that other good stuff. And I'm gonna talk about the show. I'm just gonna talk about what I liked, and we're gonna get on with that. It's nearing the NXT Takeover, and that's what we're going to pretty much talk about. As a whole, I thought NXT was pretty good stuff. There was a lot to like, and then there was, I wouldn't say there was a lot to not like, but there was some things that were they were there. They were there chilling. They were there. They were building stories and stuff like that. So we're gonna get into all of that. So I guess I'll just start with the least least eventful thing, I guess, which is still pretty decent. Um, Cameron Grimes and um, Dexter Loomis, they had a blindfold match, which wasn't really a match. It was more like a segment and a half. Um, I didn't really understand why they had this blindfold match if they weren't going to actually do the blindfold match. I would expect them to, like, because Takeover, they knew Takeover was coming in literally 2 weeks. So why wouldn't they have just saved this match, like the actual blindfold match that they were going to do tonight, and it didn't finish? I would wonder why they didn't just save it until Takeover. You know what I'm saying? What they did in the little minute or two that they had, was pretty. It was creative. It was funny. Cameron Grimes is hilarious. He as soon as the bell rings, he just jumps and like, he falls flat on his face. Every time he's trying to hit Dexter Loomis is standing in the middle of the ring, and Cameron Grimes is running around almost hitting the ref, and then he does actually hit the ref and stuff like that. And then he cheats, takes off his mask, and he notices that he hits the referee, and then he tries to beat up Dexter Loomis. And apparently, Dexter Loomis has a third eye somewhere outside the sack that he can see him and then still beat him up and stuff. So this was, I guess, a setup for an eventual final match or whatever at Takeover. I'm guessing whatever final match they have is going to be at Takeover. It is probably going to be some big match, whatever the match is supposed to be. But it seemed like they were building, hey, he beat me with all the zombies and the cinematic stuff. But when the eyes are not closed, I can beat him. So the payoff should have been the blindfold match at Takeover, but instead it's going to be something else, which is kind of baffling. But I like Cameron Grimes and I like Dexter Loomis. So after this match, hopefully they both can move on to something else. Speaking of somebody who I hope should move on to something else, Kushida. Kushida had a match with I almost said Raul Mendoza, with Raul, the dude that was on Raw Underground. What's his name? I got it. Of course, you already know I got the handy dandy notebook, so I got his name somewhere around here. Um, and I put Arturo Ruiz, and I put Arturo Ruiz back in NXT question mark, about to lose to Kushida, and he lost to Kushida. This is the part of NXT that I don't like. And I said the same thing to a couple of friends about NXT UK. Like when they have their storylines and their things going on, they're really really good. But when they don't have anything for anybody, like the guys like Tommaso Ciampa, like Kushida, like Brunson Reed, like Velveteen Dream, they just put them in random matches, and hopefully eventually they'll find something for them. that's what I feel like they're doing with Kushida. Like he's so good, but they don't want to have him off the mat, off the card, like off of NXT. But they don't have anything for him, so they just have him battling random people for no reason. And like my assumption was, well, you need to face my boy Phantasma for the Cruiserweight Championship. I think they're having a thing on 205 Live where they have him facing somebody else. But like after that's done with, you need to go to Kushida. Kushida needs something more concrete than fighting Arturo Ruas and all these other random people that's on the card. He needs a feud. He needs that Cruiserweight Championship. That's what he needs. But I will say that that pin that he did on Ruas was very creative, and I like that pin. And it kept Toro strong, that he didn't like lose anything weird. It was just like a fancy roll up that cost him a win. So keep him strong. That's always good stuff. Um, Next up on the list is Timothy Thatcher and Tommaso Ciampa, which I predicted last week that I assumed that was going to happen. Uh, I figured that Tommaso Ciampa was like, well, everybody's walking around saying that they're tough guys. If you say that you have to be tough and do cowardly things to be tough, you're not tough. When I grew up, I was tough and all that, blah 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 blah. And then Timmy Thatcher has his match with August Gray. He beats him. August shows a little bit of love in there, gets some super kicks and all of that stuff in there. And then after the match, he tries to put him back in there, and then Tommaso Ciampa comes out. And I like um, where after he won, he was like, Timothy Thatcher was like, uh, next lesson in next lesson for you to learn: don't pick a fight with somebody you can't beat. And then Tommaso Ciampa comes out here, and then he was like, "Bro, I ain't got no problem with you. Hey, no problems." So it always seems like whereas people in his camp that he can beat, he picks a fight with them because he know could beat him. But like when big superstars like Tommaso Ciampa or Dexter Lumis or people like that come out, all of a sudden it's like, "Hey, I ain't got no problem with you. Hey, no problems with you." So I like that little detail in Timothy Thatcher's character. I love that. Um, War Games is the next pay per view, of course, and it was been told by my wifey, the love of my life, Shanti Blackheart. I love her a lot. She's the best. I want to marry Shanti Blackheart because she's so beautiful and delicious and great. I love her a lot. She's the best. Um, so War Games is going to be coming up December 6th, I think they said, as well as next week. Kevin Owens will be on commentary in place of Wade Barrett, and I wrote KO NXT next week. Bring Alistair with you because Alistair Black wants to be in NXT, and everybody wants him to be NXT because he's not doing anything on the main roster. So I guess the next couple of stuff that they showed was pretty much what I guess we could just talk about, and I'll talk about it throughout the how it happened throughout the show. Well, that part. So first part that we had was the whole North American title scene. Well, actually, I lied. Before I get to that, um, William Regal went to Boa's house because Boa hasn't been showing up on TV, and Boa says she's coming, and it's not Xia Li because she hasn't been there. Whoever she is coming, and it's gonna be somebody. It's gonna be like their mother or something like that. I don't know, but I'm glad that they got something going on with Xia Li and Boa. So that's it. So, anyways, so like I was about to say, the whole North American title scene, I love everything about it. Again, like I said last week, I love that they added Leo Ruff into this. They just randomly threw Leo Ruff into it. Kind of disgusting that he's been doing this for 3 years and it's just been on fire. Everybody likes working with him. Um, and it's good. He's probably a breath of fresh air that that title scene needed, because like all the other titles, everything else is all serious and everybody's all "Arr." And Leon Ruff is more playful. He's really good, and he showed that he was really good in the match that they had. It was it maybe was a little less, a couple of minutes than it was from last week, but Leon Ruff did show off a couple more offense. He did, springboard. He did the thing where he did between the ropes, where he jumped between the ropes type stuff. Did some good stuff in there. And of course, Damian Priest gets involved, and he says to Leon Ruff, "I'm sorry," pops him dead in the face. Leon wins, retains title by disqualification. And of course, William goes like, "Bro, what are you doing?" Damian Priest is like, "Hey, I'm sorry, Johnny, it's a little fun, and I can't be joking like that, but nobody likes Johnny. Johnny this or whatever." And then Leon Ruff comes and is like, "Bro, you think I'm a joke? Do you think this is a joke? Me as North American champ, I am the champion. Do you think that me being the champion is a joke?" He was like, "No, I just a little bit too much fun. I'm sorry, all of this stuff." He was like, "Well, I mean, if you don't think I'm a joking or anything, yeah, William Regal, you can like take out my contract, you can give him the title." And he's like, "No, no, it's not like that." And then he's like, "Well, I'm sorry too." And he slaps Damian Priest. He was like, "I'm North American champion," and walks away. And then William Regal was like, "He deserved that." And then Damian Priest was like, "Okay." So I like what they're doing with Leon Ruff now. Is like, okay, now everybody thinks I'm a joke. See, now it was all fun and games, but now everybody's taking me as a joke. Now I'm going to show you guys that I'm not a joke, and I like that part. So Damian Priest was supposed to have a match against somebody that nobody knows. Maybe it was Boa, and then he didn't show up. Johnny sent him home, and then Johnny came and beat him up. I don't know, but they did some brawling. Damian Priest was beating him up, and Leon Ruff came up, stood tall on all of them, and said, "Hey, people's gonna take me. People think I'm a joke. I'm gonna show that I'm not a joke. I'll take them both at the same time, which I'm guessing will be triple threat match, Takeover. I hope. I honestly do hope that Leon Ruff retains the title. I hope they show him his love. They show what he can actually do, and I hope that he picks up babyface win for the North American Championship and have more matches with other people, because I think that he can be a great champion. Everybody thinks that he's like he's like a joke or whatever like that. But I'm enjoying him as champion right now. It's different, and I like that he's stepping up. He's like, "No, you're not gonna treat me as a joke. You want this? I'm a big boy. I'm a grown man. I'm not a joke. I'm the champion. So you want this title? Take it from me." And I like that. That's what they're developing now. So that's good stuff. Also, good stuff, fantastic stuff is the women's division. I would love to talk about this last, but I guess towards the end, what happened was maybe a little bit of a bigger deal. But the women dominated the show. Just like in NXT UK, the tag team dominated. The women dominated this. Starting with Team Casey, Casey Carazona, and Kaden Carter facing against I almost said Chelsea Green, uh, Candice LeRae and Indy Hartwell. That was a solid tag team match. They got to have my girls Team Casey show off, a lot of their stuff. They got to show off their tag team stuff. It's going to be a little bit unfortunate for them, because unless somehow the tag team titles that are only on Raw and don't get defended anywhere else, even though it's supposed to get defended everywhere else, unless they go to the main roster and they take those titles from them, I don't know if they're gonna be more than what they are. Unfortunately, I think they're great. I think they're fantastic. I think they can. I think NXT right now has probably the most tag teams in WWE, with Team Casey, Kate Canzar, and Casey Carter. Um, uh, Indy Hartwell and Candice LeRae and Dakota Kai and Raquel Gonzalez. That's three, and then maybe Marina Shafir and Jessamine Duke. I don't know if they count as well, but that's at least four people on NXT. And then Raw, you have Shayna and Nia Jax, who technically aren't even a real team. You have guest Billy Kay and what's her face, uh, 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 Lacey Evans, and then you have Mandy Rose and Dana Brooke, who all three of them are just thrown together tag teams. And then on SmackDown, you just have the Riot Squad. So, so you have four teams on NXT, and then you have four teams between Raw and SmackDown. So, I think they would be a good team. I think they'd be a good team, but unfortunately, women's tag team wrestling isn't a thing anymore since Golden Role Models and Kabuki Warriors and Nikki Cross and Alexa Bliss and Iconics, which were four solid tag teams, since they aren't a thing anymore. The tag team division is just. But it is what it is. I like them as a team. Of course, Candice LeRae has to win because she's Candice LeRae and she's not losing to Team Casey, no matter how good they are. Um, that was a good match, and then it was followed up by even more fantastic tag team match between Ember Moon and Tony Storm. Love them. And I just heard. Oh, that might have been my PS4. I was going crazy. I just heard a noise. I don't know if that was my PS4 or that was my. Something else. Oh yeah, that was my PS4 telling me that my controller was about to die. That scared the mess out of me. But yeah, Ember Moon and Tony Storm, greatness. Them as a tag team, beautiful. Ember Moon since she's came back, it's been so great. I like this match between them and Dakota Kai and Raquel Gonzalez. I like the thing that Tony Storm was like, "Hey, just because we're a tag team, do not forget me in line for women's championship." Ember Moon is like, "Yeah, whatever." So Ember Moon and Tony Storm 101. Yes, please. I takes those. But they win. They beat Raquel and Dakota Kai. Uh, Ember Moon has changed up her game since she's been back. She has been stiff with everything she's been doing. She's been snuffing people. Like she doesn't like since she's came back. She's only hit the Eclipse her first time back, and I was just like, "Hey, I'm back. I know everybody likes the Eclipse, but after that one time, she has not hit the Eclipse. I don't think she's really even been on the top of ropes. She's been kicking people in the face more. She's been popping people in the mouth more. Everything she's been doing has been like hard hitting. It's like she grew up in NXT UK like Tony Storm and Dakota Kai. So that was a lot of physicality. I like every bit of it. And then Candice LeRae comes out, who is also a physical person. Her and Indy Hartwell, they attacked Ember Moon and Tony Storm afterwards. So that's going to be um, a little thing for War Games. Is going to be those four as a team. Maybe a fifth. I don't know if there's going to be five, but there's going to be definitely those four. And then it's going to probably be Ember Moon, Tony Storm, Shanti Blackheart, and Io Shirai. Those four, and I'm guessing the four baby faces are gonna win. And then when they win, they were like, "Hey, we won. Now we want title shot against you." So that's gonna be all great stuff. And speaking of the women, Io Shirai, women's champion, oh, her and Rhea Ripley, fantastic, fantastic. Um, One thing that happened throughout the show is they kept asking about Finn Balor's like, Finn Balor's not here. What's he gonna do? When's he coming? It's like you already announced he's gonna be there, so relax. Stop interrupting my matches. And when he comes, he comes. Like stop interrupting my matches. We don't care. He's gonna be there. It's fine. But I like the whole setup to this match. How they did first, they had Rhea Ripley show up, and then they had Io Shirai show up, and then they did a video package, and then they did predictions of who was going to win. Of course, more people said Io Shirai. I think like three people said Rhea Ripley was gonna win, and it was like Triple H, Road Dogg, and Shawn Michaels. I think those are the only people that said that she was gonna win, and they all booked the show. So whoever they say is gonna win loses. So they had that, and then they had the tail of the tape, and then they had the match, and then it was seeing them preparing backstage, and then they had the match, which was fantastic, amazing. Rhea Ripley's bleeding out the ear. She got powerbombed through the table, which was fire because like Io Shirai like suicide dived, powerbombed her through the table, the announce table. That was fantastic. Um, the finish was fantastic when Io Shirai got in the ring. The referee was like at 6 or 7. Uh, Rhea Ripley barely gets in the ring. She beats the counter so that she rolls in the ring. Io Shirai jumps up the top over the moonsault. 1, 2, 3. This was hard hitting. This was so good, fantastic. Um, my only thing is that unfortunately they didn't have really time to. I think this match could have went longer, and I think this was probably a takeover match. But I don't know with Survivor Series. Like I don't know how between them announcing that Takeover was going to be a thing to this match happening in 2 weeks. I don't know if Rhea Ripley was originally supposed to be like if she, because she's definitely going to the main roster. She's going to Raw or SmackDown. I don't know which one she's going. Maybe SmackDown. I don't know, but I don't know if it's a thing where that they was probably going to have a takeover match and it was going to be Rhea's final match at Takeover and then she was going to debut maybe that Monday or whatever, or if it was a thing where um she was always there was always meant to have this match but it was going to be longer because I felt like this was clearly a Takeover level match and they got time restrained by the clock because they kept having to be like, oh, well, as soon as this match is over, we're gonna have Finn Balor. He's gonna come straight out because we only have like 5 minutes left and stuff like that. So I don't know if they wanted to do everything they could have because it felt like they could have had another year. And I felt the same way with the match with Ember and Tony with Raquel and Dakota Kai because it's like Ember Moon did that crazy suicide dive on Raquel Gonzalez, and then right after that, Dakota Kai got rolled up by Tony Storm. There was like no kick out, followed by like a headbutt, tag in, tag team thing. And, like as soon as she came in, boom, roll up, and it was over. It was like I felt like these matches were supposed to be longer, but somehow along those 2 hours that they mistimed everything. It went a little longer than they thought it was going to be. But either way, still a fantastic match. If this was Rhea Ripley's hurrah, it seemed like it was because they hugged each other, they embraced each other. Rhea Ripley slapping Io on the butt cheeks, as in "This is over. I'm out of here. You're in good hands." I think that's what it came to me. And then, of course, the final thing, Finn Balor comes. He talks for like a half a second about his jaw being wired shut and still coming out a badass. And then Team Pat McAfee comes out and talks about how they've been running stuff. Everybody who they face each other is dead now, and he's gonna be next. Finn talks about cats and mice and whatever like that, and said he has a surprise, shock the system. I don't go, baby. Oh, sorry. I don't go, baby. They Undisputed Era come out and they just whoop uh everybody out in the ring. They just whoop Pat McAfee and everybody. Pat McAfee took a great kick to the face, and then they end the show with the big brawl, and that was the end of the show. Which is why I was like, they probably cut most of the stuff short because probably everything they figured was kind of a little longer than they wanted it to be. But still a good ending. And then after the show, WWE.com, William Regal comes out. Of course, he was like, "Well, it seems like we got 4 men in the ring, and we got 4 men over here. So you know what that means. And everybody's all happy. They're like, oh, Undisputed Era. And it's like, come on, say it. Say War Games. Say you know you want to say it, William Regal. And William Regal smiling, his happy man. He goes, War Games. Everybody goes crazy. It's crazy how when Adam Cole, how he was the heel for like the past couple of years, and William Regal would yell War Games. He was like, no, 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 no War Games, no War Games. And now this time, big baby face, that was like, come, give me the War Games. You know you're gonna say, you know you want us to say, we all want you to say, just say it that we want War Games, and everybody gets happy. So, yeah, that was the show. So that's gonna be War Games. It's gonna be a thing. Um, so clearly, I'm guessing this is good. They're going to continue with this. Even at the War Games, I see Team Baby Faces for the women winning. You can't lose all the War Game matches, can you? Well, no, technically, Roderick Strong would be the only one losing all the War Game matches because they did win the very first one, but then they lost the other two or three, I think. Lost the other two or three, and this is the next one. So I don't know if this is going to be another. I don't know. Maybe they might go with two big baby faces. I don't know. It depends because Pat McAfee will probably be in it and he'll probably do crazy stuff, jump off and get thrown off. I don't know what's gonna happen. Yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see what happens. It's gonna be interesting to see what happens with Finn Balor because Finn Balor's whole mouth is still wired. So it's gonna be interesting to see if he's gonna be good within the next 2 weeks to have a title match or if he's in War Games. It's going to be interesting to see if they have Kevin Owens like just be there for that 1 week, or if he's going to be being in a feud. Maybe I don't know. We'll see what's going to happen. Right now, he's not needed on SmackDown technically after this show. After Survivor Series, I mean, Aleister Black isn't really needed either. So I mean, they should both just go to NXT. That'd be great. Be fantastic. Bring them both to NXT. That they don't need SmackDown right now. They got enough people. They got Sami Zayn. They got Apollo Cruz. They got Big E. They got Daniel Bryan's over there. They got Uso. They got him. They got Otis. They got Chad Gable running around over there. Oh, I'm naming a whole bunch of people. They got Roman Reigns. They got Rey Mysterio, Buddy Murphy, Seth Rollins. Dominic is there as well. He's chilling. He's holding it down over there. Yeah, they don't need they won't even miss Kevin Owens and Aleister Black. Bring them to NXT. They don't need them. Good stuff. Good money. It's all good. But yeah, Baron Corbin's over there. He's living his best life over there on SmackDown. So yeah, but that was NXT. It was a great show and I enjoyed it. Um, I'd give the show. I'd give it a B plus. B plus. It was good stuff. They're building. Uh, a for me showing me Chauncey Blackheart. She's the greatest. I love her to death. Showing me Tony Storm and Ember Moon. Io Shirai and Rhea Ripley. Yes, fantastico. Women power. They they killed this whole show. They did great. What do you guys think? Let me know. I'll see you in the next one. I'm out.